How do you build the perfect golf grip for your golf swing? The golf grip is one of the most important parts of the golf swing. It connects your hands to the golf club and it's critical for controlling the direction of the golf ball and generating speed for all of your golf shots. Also, if you're struggling with a slice or a hook, 95% of the time it comes down to your golf grip. In this video we're going to help you build a great golf grip. We're going to go through the position of the hands, how to link your hands, and talk about grip pressure. We're going to end the video with something that's quite important, which is the best way to change your golf grip and take it onto the golf course. Let's start with the placement of your hands. If you can get your left hand in a really good position, a lot of what we're going to talk about afterwards follows. Place your lead hand on the golf club from the side so that your palm is facing away from the target. The club should run from the base of your index finger to just above the knuckle on your left hand. You can then wrap your fingers and thumb around the golf club from here. You should also note that the top of the golf club is sticking out the end. That's really important, and make sure that we have really good control of the golf club as we make our golf swing. You'll also see in this position that the left thumb sits just down the right hand side of the golf grip. This is another mark that you've got a really good left hand grip in place. Quick tip, if you're trying to learn this for the first time, is to open the palm of your hand and draw some lines up and down the side of your golf grip. You can use this as a reminder when you go to the golf range or if you're playing a practice round. Key thing is when you're using these markers is to remember to place your hand on from the side rather than underneath the golf club. One common mistake we see from amateurs is actually trying to do this from underneath the golf club rather than the side. This may seem like a very similar thing, but actually ends up with your hand being in a very different position and is a big cause of hitting slicers. Quick tip for slicers, if you've got your hand in a really good position, you should be able to pick the golf club up by just pinching it between your thumb and index finger, and the pad of your hand should hold it in place. If it slides out and doesn't feel like you can do this, it's a sure sign that you've got your hand too much underneath the golf club, which we will talk about later on, causes you to get the club face open when you hit the golf ball. When you place the club down on the ground, you should be able to look down and see the badge of the glove and 2 to 3 knuckles. That's another really good indicator that you've got your left hand in a great position ready to play golf. If you can only see 1 knuckle, that's a sign that your grip is too weak, and it often leads to the club face being open and hitting fades and slices. Once you've got your left hand in place, the right hand just mirrors the left hand. So we want your right hand to come in from behind the golf club with your palm facing towards the target. Just like your left hand, we're looking for the right hand to be placed on the golf club so it runs from the top of your index finger to just above the knuckle on your right hand. Again, when you wrap your fingers and thumb around the golf club, you should see that your right hand thumb sits just down the left hand side of the club, meaning that both hands kind of overlap and are twisted slightly towards each other. For most people that never play golf, this is the weirdest thing in the world, but it's actually the natural position your hands hang in. If you stand tall and let your arms hang down, you'll notice that your hands hang inwards slightly. Bring them forward, and that's actually what we've just created on the golf club. The key thing here is that when you swing the golf club at speed, this is where your hands want to come back to. So if you start with one hand a little bit too under the golf club and it comes back to its natural position, that's when the golf club becomes very open. Next up, we'll talk about linking your hands. We've got 3 options here. We've got the baseball grip, we've got the overlapping grip, and we've got the interlocking grip. All 3 are really good options. If you're trying to get really good at golf or develop your golf game, we'll probably suggest you go for the overlapping and interlocking, which we'll talk through in a moment. Baseball grip is the most forward, and all you're trying to do here is place your hands as close as possible so that your right little finger is as close as possible to your left index finger. From there, you just wrap your right hand around and you have a very good baseball grip. Your other 2 options are to move your right hand up a little bit more and rest your little finger of your right hand in between the gap formed between your left hand index finger and middle finger. This is called an overlap grip and is a really common grip used by many golfers. If you prefer, you can go one step further and extend your index finger on your left hand and interlock these 2 fingers. This is called an interlocking grip. It's a grip used by other professionals, notably Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus, so it's not a bad option either. Whichever option you use, don't feel like you have to rigidly lock these together like a chain. They can be quite softly positioned together to create a great golf grip. As much as having your hands this close together does feel very strange if you're new to golf, it does have some really important purposes for the golf swing. Number one, it allows your hands to work more as a unit and swing the golf club together. Also allows them to apply force as a unit as well, rather than working against each other as you come to deliver the club into impact. Next, let's move on to grip pressure. If you're asking about grip pressure, you're probably holding the golf club too tightly for starters. If you're gripping the club too hard, your muscles in your forearm are contracting. What that actually does is it stops you having the range of motion in your wrist that we need to swing the golf club and create speed. The key question is, how hard should you be gripping the golf club? Now, this is a little bit down to personal preference. Really, the lighter you can have it without letting go of the golf club, the better generally. A really good idea maybe to stick in your head is, imagine you're holding a banana that you've got to eat afterwards. So you're making that golf swing. You certainly don't want to throw the banana, but you need to not grip it too tightly to bruise that banana. A really useful tip to try and soften your grip pressure before you hit a golf ball is to just have a couple of waggles backwards and forwards of the golf club. Making this movement just allows you to soften your grip and try and loosen up those muscles in your arm before you make a golf swing. Why does a golf grip feel so weird when you first change it? Well, the answer is actually feedback. You have thousands of receptors in your hand called cutaneous receptors. These actually sense pressure and changes in touch, but they provide the feeling of what it's like to swing a golf club. When you change the position of the golf grip through your hands, you completely change the feedback that you're getting through those sensors. The really interesting thing is your golf swing stays the same, but it feels completely different. And this is one of the hardest things to get over when you're making a grip change. So what is the best way to change your golf grip? Well, the answer is practice. The more you can pick up a golf club, practice a really good golf grip and get used to that in a relaxed grip, the quicker you will make the change. Another really great tip though is to go out and do some short game practice. This sounds strange, but you do actually need to change your grip across all of these shots. So practicing your chipping allows you to practice a movement which is small, it's really controlled, but allows you to soften the hands and get used to this feeling as you're swinging a golf club. The final thing is to check your golf grip regularly. If you're a beginner, try and check your golf grip once a week to make sure you build some good habits. If you're an experienced player making a grip change, try and make sure that you check it once a month to make sure you don't slip into old habits. I've given hundreds of golf lessons, particularly around the golf grip. When golfers tend to make improvement and then regress again, a common problem is a golf grip has just slipped back to an old habit and needs tweaking again. So try and make sure you keep on top of the grip changes, and that means the rest of your golf swing is going to stay in great order. The golf grip can seem like a complex thing to learn, but trust me, it's really worthwhile. I hope this video has helped. Go out there, enjoy your golf and have fun.